Okay, he scares me. So, unfortunately, I let him do my intro. That's all I gotta say. So, just so everybody hear me, see me, everybody shaking their money makers. I know one person that was, mm-hmm, and I knew he was because I even sent it before. Nyah, 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 nyah. Well, excuse me. Welcome to Procastination Thursday. We've been away for a few weeks. Um, I know Jesse had done 1 week for me, and then I believe we haven't had a whole lot since. So, welcome. Just let me flip over to. Let me flip over and say hello, Butler Farms. Jerry slides in there first. Jerry, stick around. I got something to tell you. I fact checked you. Anyways, there's one part that you should really clear up because if people go to search, they're going to be given the wrong information and somebody could lose money. But that's okay. You only did what you were told, but whoever told you wrong. And we got my sister and my brother. I know my brother's there too. To Virginia Alexander. Welcome. To 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 to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The bat phone's ringing. uh, I will just leave it unnamed who sent me a message. Yes, absolutely. We do have a few lurkers here today, and that's okay. I'm going to apologize now, guys. I've had my sinuses have gone absolutely crazy since we've been home. And it's been, yeah, it started about halfway through the trip. One morning we were meeting up with Sir Grace and Glenda. I'm like, look at my eye. It took me half an hour to open my eye. It was swollen shut. If I didn't know better, I'd say I was stung or bit or whatever. But I mean, this morning's the first morning that I've been able to open my eye and I actually get to see out of my eye. So, it's all that it is allergies, right? Fall allergies. Um, they don't call it hay fever for no reason. But um, other than that, I am already at the bottom. So this is today, tomorrow, and the weekend. I have nothing. I always have something. 4 days that I've got zero, well, other than my live today and tomorrow night. But Jerry, oh, I know what I want. Jerry, to upload videos and whatever, what program do you use I forgot to ask Tony. He said you need another program to upload stuff into this program. I'm starting to get used to the program now. And that's okay. Like I'm getting my way around. Last Friday night though, I did have an issue. Would not let me go live, which was weird. And I did everything correctly. Glenda got in without an issue, and then I tried to have a guest speaker, which I do believe we're going to try this tomorrow. But I got to make sure that my sister can attend because I don't want to have one without the other. Um, it well, it was that cruise, honestly, for people that haven't cruised, there was a lot to do. Usually, you can grab the odd nap, but you didn't want to because you were going to miss something. Either inside, outside a show, um, blah, 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 blah. And that's why we went ahead and we got a call from NCL last week. That because of the points that we have, because we're going to be silver sailors next trip. So we get a little pin per se. Actually, you guys could have. No, it's after your first sailing. Then you can get a little pen or pin. It says bronze, and then we'll get our silver next time. But yes, very, very, very happy. No, you go do what you got to do. You do have stuff that you got to look after. You got company. You got my brother. Hey, Arlene, nice to see you. I've kind of seen you in and out and all about, but thanks for stopping by. And yeah, other than that, for some reason, it's telling me I got a whole bunch of comments, but it won't. No, I don't want to. Yeah, it was Jerry. And a lot of people want to do cruises to relax. So if you did find that a little much, you would love a Caribbean cruise in the winter. Um, it's not stupid hot. It's usually anywhere from 75 to I guess the warmest we've ever had it would have been the 1st of January, and it would have been 90. Um, But yeah, it we're looking forward to our anniversary cruise where we can do what we want, when we want, where we want, how we want, who we want. Um, Not that we couldn't have done that last cruise. Don't get me wrong in any way, but there's a lot of folks that don't see that often. That you know you want to be with, and yeah, yeah. We're going for our anniversary cruise, Jerry. So it's going to be a nice. Yeah, it all depends. Some people, you know, there's a lot of people from down south, Louisiana, Texas, blah, 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 who come up and do the Atlantic sailing with NCL. It leaves from Quebec City proper, and you go out. I'm not sure if you go to Newfoundland or not, but I do believe you go to Halifax, possibly PEI, and then you disembark in Boston. Um, or if you have the time, do a back to back. It's not that much money. So, um, again, it it's a lot of fun. And this cruise here, you're constantly learning. And God bless the lady. Um, I don't know if people have heard, but the following Thursday, from whenever we were in Ketchikan, um, there was a lady that was hit by a car and she succumbed to her injuries. Now, it was nowhere near the cruise ships. It was the farthest side of Ketchikan that you can go to. And yeah, the minivan lost control and ran over her and her husband. And yeah, she has succumbed to her injuries. Um, it's one of those freak accidents. That's why I always say keep your head on a swivel. You never know what's going to happen. And, you just be ready and able. And they were doing nothing wrong. They were walking down the side of the road. And for some reason, this vehicle veered off and hit them and ended up in the ocean. So it is Virginia. It was a lady from Illinois, I believe. I Yeah, I'm sure if you if you just do a Google search, you can pull up more information on it. But it was, they were there enjoying, just like we were, a a beautiful vacation, and boom, their world changed in the matter of seconds. But again, we have no say in the matter. We, that's why I said, I'm ready to go, but hell, I don't want to go. And I think that's, a lot of people are the same, "Oh, yeah, we're ready to go. We know where we're going. And, but none of us want to go. Not unless there's golden lined um, walkways in the cruise ships. And I'm okay with it. As long as, I can go on a whole bunch of cruises. Oh, Jerry, I have not even started in on my GoPro stuff. I'm just trying to clear, I forget how many gigs I've got of video and pictures on my phone that I'm going to download into the blue yonder. Um, oh my goodness. Yes, yes. What I've been putting on mine is hashtag uh, cruising Alaska. That's what I've been putting on mine. Jamie Conway. How are you, Jamie? You getting back into the grind, I see? Get off the ship and you guys are down into hunting season. I lost all of it. What is wrong with your GoPro, man? That's not the first time that you've lost all your documentation. I'd be throwing your SD cards out. I wouldn't even reprogram them. I'd be tossing them. Or give them to the next meetup you're at. Get Jesse to shoot a whole bunch of video, or Johnny, or whoever. Or I guess your next one's up at Jan's. Get whoever's got a GoPro up there to shoot, you know, 20 minutes, half an hour, and because there's something not right. Don't Somebody that has a GoPro, see if they can get back that information for you, because I know you had a ton of information on excuse me, you had a ton of information, like video on your GoPro, and I'd hate to see you lose all that stuff, you know. Um my god, I wouldn't even know how to, you know, stuff that I don't use that's just running video. I wouldn't even know how to get that over to you in such a large file. But like I said, I have not even. Yeah, he's got. I think he said he had three different. He used three different cards, Glenda. So for all three of them to be not right, I'm gonna have to go with. I think it's the GoPro. That just doesn't make sense as to why you're. Yeah, why, like, if you use three different cards, it it doesn't make sense other than you may have a setting set wrong in your GoPro, but it should still record. I don't know. I'd try. You know what? First off, I would try to find somebody with a GoPro and see if they can pull off that information for you. If we were closer, I'd just let you borrow my GoPro and you, whenever you were done, you just give it back. But yeah, yeah, that doesn't, I don't know. One card, okay. You know what? Sometimes they fail. But to have three cards, that doesn't, that screams GoPro issue. Oh, you just used one card in your GoPro. Is it the same card that gave you troubles before? I'm sure you told me it had given you troubles before. Okay. But if it's the same card that gave you the troubles before, maybe it wasn't formatted correctly. I don't know, but I'm just trying to help you out here. I'm not trying, I'm not in any way trying to, you know, say that I know more than you. I'm just trying to throw out some ideas, that's all. Technology. It's going to make your life so much better. Yeah, BS. That's all I got to say about that. BNS Odyssey, g'day, Beth. It is not the card, it is something to do with the. Oh, yeah, exactly. I have mine automatic. Now, I don't know what GoPro you have. I have a 12. Does that sound right? I don't even know what I have. GoPro, yeah, I think it's a 12 I have. And it, hmm, yeah, my 12, I have it set up that as soon as you put in the card, it automatically formats it. So then I don't even have to fool around with. Yeah, that's true also, Glenda. Oh, I know, Jerry, but you know, I know that'll probably be the last time we go to Alaska. Um, eh, I don't want to say that I was underwhelmed. I thought it was absolutely breathtaking. But it would be the last time I go with NCL, and it's not because they did anything wrong. It's just where they have decided to park their ships. And, you know, the short, this is the first time we've had short, um, usually like we're used to 7, 8, 9, 10 hours in port. um, especially in the Caribbean. Like, you know, what we do is we go out, we go around the port, we check out some stuff. If we want to jump in a cab and go for a ride, we be it. But in saying that, if you're going to jump in a cab, make sure it is a reputable cab for the Caribbean islands or Jamaica or, you know, um, if it's not Canada, the US, even Mexico. For the most part, Mexico is okay, but you still want to be on your toes. But um, you you want to be, you know, I know there's reputable companies or taxis who are backed by the cruise lines. Those are the guys you want to take. 20, 30 bucks, they will take you all over. Like, I think friends of ours might have been our first. They they gave the taxi driver $40 US. He took them out for 5 hours all over the countryside in Honduras. I tell you what, Honduras, beautiful. Belize, beautiful. But again, you want to be very careful in those cities because even in Mexico, we did. Hey, g'day, Kevin. Nice to see you, brother. Even like Mexico, you gotta be careful. This guy thought he was gonna be. Well, he told the driver that he wanted to go find some smoke. Well, the taxi ended up that it wasn't one of the ones that was approved by the cruise lines. They took him about 8 or 9 blocks away, got his smoke, let him and his girlfriend or wife, whatever, smoke it, and then turned out dropped them off out in the middle of nowhere where they were robbed. But again, you gotta be careful. That's why you say how much for and give specific addresses. And you don't get out of that vehicle unless you're back at your ship. It sucks, but if you're smart about it, there's no issues. If you want to see a sightseeing tour, spend the extra $30 and go with the cruise line. Or look on, is it Tripology or Trip, whatever. They, they also are very, they carry a lot of reviews. And I mean it. If you see there's a bad review, don't think, oh, it's probably okay. No, it's probably not going to be okay. So, you know, it's just you gotta trip advisor. That's it. Um, see, my sister's looking after me. Um, again, we've I would never ever ever like yes, right now I probably wouldn't leave the port in Honduras. There's a travel advisory out with Honduras right now. So, if I'm not mistaken, there's a measles warning. Well, that probably is going to give you a heads up that you don't want to go hang out with the locals in Honduras. Especially now, you know, I'm fully vaccinated for all that stuff, blah, 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 whatever. My choice. My body, my choice. But I just, I'm just saying, be be mindful of your surroundings. My brother-in-law got into the wrong taxi. Oh, so I had few buddies. One of our friends was getting married, and his family's got quite a bit of money. So the whole wedding, like the groomsmen, went on a cruise. Can you imagine what a show that'd be? Well, they they went to a taxi, reputable taxi was sitting right outside the port and said to the driver, "We want to go bar hopping all over." I even forget where they were. Well, it's okay to go bar hopping. They had a marvelous time. Come to find out, they were drinking in the front, the driver was drinking in the back. One of the guys refused to get into his cab, and then they said to him, "Where are you?" He's like, "I don't know." Exactly. It's probably worth, we'll buckle up. It's, we don't want to take a chance on being stuck here. We'll just tell him to go back to the ship. One of the guys wanted him to pull over so that he could drive. It was that bad. The taxi driver was drunker than the fares. But again, that's what they do over there. And I forget what third world country it was. But I, yeah, I forget what. Didn't cost them that much. They were gone for like six hours. And I think it cost them $10 an hour. So it cost them like $60, five guys. Well, that's probably not their smartest idea they've ever come up with. But they said they had a blast. They got to see where, oh my God, there's a lot of rock stars that winter there. I just, again, it escapes me. It's not Honduras. It wasn't Belize. I can even picture, like, they were going up hills literally like this. And they got lost up at the top. Well, probably got lost because their driver was drunker than them. And they ended up at, I want to say Rod Stewart's retreat, but I don't think that's right. Anyways, again, the Caribbean's beautiful. We can't we can't wait to book Jamaica. We've never been to Jamaica. So this itinerary, we're going to places everywhere we have not been. Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Jamie. If one thing I would park closer, find out now that we know the lay of the land up there, right? We none of us had been to Alaska before. So it was from what hearsay of here and there, and um I probably would have went out of Vancouver with the Joy because they actually stayed longer in the ports, like Ketchikan. The Joy's there all day. Um, yeah. But again, I'm partial to one cruise line. But again, they treat you well. Everybody that everybody that decides that you go on, if you stick to one cruise line, you get benefits. Like I said, we were offered, I forget how much off a cruise. It really made it worth our while. So that's why we booked this one when we did. I would have liked to have been a little closer to my anniversary, but I'm also frugal, and I'm going to go with, yes, yes. Well, so if you want to see deep sea fishing in Ketchikan, Johnny released his video last night, I think, or yesterday. Johnny released his Alaska and then did the whole fishing segment. Um, I'm not going to release what they got or even if they got anything, but you're going to have to go over and watch the video. And I'm not sure when Jamie and Nick are going to drop theirs. And of course, I'm trying to catch up with everybody that's dropped the video from the cruise. I'm trying to I'm trying to watch as much as I can. And that's pretty much all I've done recently is been trying to hop from channel to channel to channel to channel, and it's like I know I'm missing some. So it it is what it is. I'll get to everybody. I watch all you watched all of it, the video yesterday, yes. uh, it was quite neat. Quite neat how they've got well, I'm not going to release any information, but it's really neat that they have the line counter. So you know how much line's out. Well, if you get a fish at say 200 feet, you know your arms are going to be sore by the time that little fishy gets into the boat. Just saying. It's wow. Well, no, Jamie, you know what? It's I've got well, I guess I've dropped what? Well, I did some lives on the ship. That way there people could see it in real time. Um, you know, I was sitting in a room watching Glacier Bay. So I went live. Why not? So as we were floating through Glacier Bay, sorry, I got my seaster being a seaster. Sir Grace, pow, right to the moon, Alice. You're gonna have to look after her, Sir Grace. Just saying. The guide we were with didn't have any line count. Oh, okay. But the depth finder showed like 350 feet. Wow. So if you're jigging off the bottom, God only knows what's down there. And it was really neat. I'm meant to tell everybody, but getting that close to the end, I was trying to ensure that everybody had the dining packages, and I was fighting with NCL, and you know, not really fighting, but talking sternly. And yeah, the TV in our room, if you were watching it, it would let you know what the sonar was pinging for depth. I think it's good to 20,000 feet. And now, they didn't tell us on this, but whenever I guess, the last time we were in Cozumel, on our way back across the Gulf of Mexico, um, it showed at one point just over 10,000 feet. And I kind of looked at Debbie, and she looked at me, and I said, really, that was information that I could do without. knowing that there's 10,000 feet of water underneath you. That was, yeah, that was crazy. So Jerry, yes, I'm going to let you in a little secret. Your guide had to have been new because I wanted to make sure that I triple checked before I said anything. 100% a Canadian can go sport fishing on a cruise and have the fish sent home. There's no issues whatsoever. And that actually was from a border guard, a friend who goes sport fishing in Alaska, and a game warden friend of mine. So, yes, they are allowed. So your guide kind of wasn't so truthful to those folks. Absolutely, they could. 100%. There's no issues. We cannot go work on a commercial vessel. Like, we cannot, I can't get behind a boat and go fish over there and then bring my boat home. No, you cannot do that. But to sport fish, 100% is allowed. I fact checked it. Go ahead, Google it. Can a Canadian on a cruise go fishing? And ding, it's going to tell you they're allowed. I think what they might be getting mixed up with is there's 1 or 2 times a year that they cannot bring halibut home. Um, but right now, it's open. I could have been right beside you and brought exactly what you brought home and had it shipped to my place. Not an issue. The only thing, it's got to be wrapped, it's got to be frozen, and it's got to be sent by a reputable carrier. So, Alaska Airways is one that's approved, and FedEx is also in ah, let me speak English. FedEx is an approved carrier from Alaska for fresh fish. So, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just telling you what the rules and regs are, and I'll probably end up. I'm going to see if he will actually come on and do. Um, yeah, if I'm trying to think. We're getting into hunting season here, and if he's home this weekend, I might see if he wants to pre-record something. But yeah, oh, there's only they're very. I believe it's Alaska that it leaves The two major ones are, excuse me, Alaskan Airways, and then they have a local company deliver it soon as it clears. Well, for you, it wouldn't have to clear customs because it's actually leaving Alaska and going to you. For me, it would come off the plane. They have a quick look at it, make sure it's dry iced, frozen, ready to go. They turn it over to FedEx. FedEx gives it to or I guess no, FedEx would deliver it themselves. Um, Give it to Alaskan Airlines, and they have local couriers that run it. So yeah, no, it's quite, it was really neat to research it, because whenever I heard it, I'm like, that doesn't seem right, because we're allowed to sport fish anywhere in the world. And but I'm like, maybe the rules have changed. So I gave my buddy a call, and I'm like, hey, we just got off the ship, and one of the guys was told that they couldn't keep the catch. And he's like, it's a federal thing. And he said, all states or all provinces are, there's no issues. He's like, you can go sport fishing anywhere in the world. Now, there is some places like the Mediterranean, whatever, even you guys can't bring it home. Um, there's very limited, because they worry about diseases is the big trigger. But like he said, you know, from Ketchikan to the tip of the Canadian is maybe 100 miles, if that. So he's like, the fish, it's not like the fish have passports. He's like, they could have been born in Canada and swam up north, vice versa. And so yeah, no. So it's rather a neat thing. And I will probably, if this has been an issue, they really need to. I'm going to get all the regulations, all the numbers, so that if anybody, hey, Coastal, if anybody has any issue to chat, um, you know, they can verify it. Because, like I also said to him, he's like, did the cruise line say they couldn't do it? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, then everybody could go demand their money back if they weren't allowed. He said, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, don't shoot the guy that's only asking questions. He's like, no. He said, I've never heard anything of the sort. He said, at one time there was a fish treaty between the two countries. They were fishing, they were fighting over fishing rights. Canadian and American and international. But he said this was caught more than likely in international waters. I'm like, I have no idea. But I said, even if it was caught in the US waters, I said, I know of a ton of Americans, especially from Pennsylvania, that are coming up here right now because walleye or pickerel, whichever way you want to look at it, whatever way you want to call them, um, they come up now for about the next 6 weeks because they really start to move up here. And um, I know my buddies got cabins up about an hour from here. And every fall, this family has been with them for the last 18 years. It's gone generation to generation to generation. They won't give up their weeks. Soon as they show up for this year, they're putting their money down for next year. So, yeah. Yeah, it really doesn't matter one way or another. You know, you could have been in Canadian waters and had no issues bringing it home. So just food for thought. And like I said, you don't believe me? Google it. Uncle Google Pants is never wrong. Actually, I haven't even Googled it, but I'm sure it'll tell you that there's no issues. But yeah, I know. Have you dropped that video yet, Jerry? Or was that on your GoPro? Because I've seen you how many you're dropping, and it's just like I'm trying to watch everybody's, but well, that's it. It's kind of, hopefully they went back to the ship and said, we booked this through you. Why did you tell us that we could take our fish and then we couldn't? That's not fair to those people. They paid the same amount of money as what you did, and they weren't given the opportunity to bring fresh fish home. Kind of sucks. Um, okay. I'll watch. I'll watch for the fishing video. Like I said, I'm right now. I may go to 2 a week, but honestly, I've had something every single day since we were home. A meeting. Yeah, it's been crazy. Debbie came home to pretty much 7 days straight. So I think she's done today now. So she gets a couple days off. Okay, Virginia, you have yourself a magnificent day, and we'll probably see you tomorrow night at prime time. Oh, man. I really should be taking an leave or something for my allergies, but it'll it'll straighten itself out. But actually, speaking of that, I think I gotta go pick up the missus. Not for a little bit yet, but I gotta double check because if I leave her sitting at work, she not gonna be happy. But it's going to be, oh, and I do believe, so long as I get enough people, I people have been at me that they want a chance to win a bottle of maple syrup. So I've got one left to give away. Other than that, that's all I got left till come um, that's all I got left till March. And one's already spoke for. Whew, thank goodness I checked. Because I am the Mrs. Uber for the afternoon. But she don't tip me as good as I tip the Ubers down there. Although, don't think I should have. They got quite a racket going on in Seattle, I'll put it that way. I still want to know how somebody can steal my credit card. Yes, it's my fault. I left it sitting on top of the machine. Some scumbag found it, but then used it for Uber. Uber knows that I have a different credit card. So for them to accept that credit card, they should have at least had to show ID. They did not. So they're going to be out the money, not me, because the credit card company's already canceling the transaction. It's only like $40, but still, it's enough that it irks me a little bit that this person can go and just hand the credit card. I like I don't know how many people from Canada would be in Seattle. You kind of think you would have had somebody asking questions. What's going on, Goop? Who's here? Who's here? Good watchdog. That's all he does. Whenever one of the family comes home, that's all we get is that little bit of bark. Now, a delivery guy comes. Whoo-wee. He's going to eat him's head off. Right, buddy? So he's sitting beside me because my oldest is home for lunch. And Hank is separating me from her. He's a big, scary watchdog. You're silly. You go protect Daddy's chair. Good boy. Hey, go sit in Daddy's chair. That a good boy. But, anyways, I do believe I am going to call it a day. Um, and we will see everybody. Oh, Jerry, again, you might have put it in there and I didn't see you. But what program do you use to bring the files over into EVMux? You may already be gone, and then I will just, I guess, figure it out via. Oh, no. Oh, see? Tony and Jesse told me that I need. Okay. Yeah, no. Tony and Jess told me that I needed some kind of program. Well, that's strike two for those guys. Mm-mm-mm. We're going to have a little chat with them. Anyways. Well, I do believe I still have the video. Um, if you go back to the Friday night before, like a week before we went on our cruise, whenever Tony was up on panel with Jesse, they said that I needed a program. Well, that's awesome because I'm going to try to throw it over. You never know. That's this afternoon's job or tomorrow. But, anyways, take care. And yeah, I'm going to try it with my phone first, Jerry. I'm going to try to throw it from my phone over to my uh, the computer. But I got to go do some stuff first. Um, I even got my grass all cut yesterday. Man, oh man, it's been now. I do believe I've got like 4 days of nothing. Man, it's got to be something wrong. Something's got to be something in the access is off right now because there's no way that I can say that for 4 days I have nothing. It's got to be something, and I'm just not remembering it. But all right, guys, take care. God bless, and yeah, we will definitely see you.